Alrighty, last time was a bit of a lesson into why I almost always skip cutscenes.
4 weeks have passed since.
Unfortunately, a lot of these do come with extra effects and stuff like that, so usual emulator problems. Long story short of the whole thing, basically everyone's all stuck in weird positions after the northern guys invaded. Save again, awesome. And I actually forget why exactly. Oh yeah, so some bounty hunters find you. I'm gonna try it off the bat. Did I make the... Yeah, I made the wizard another ninja, didn't I? I forget which battle this is, but we'll just see how it goes. Maybe leave Canopus out of one of them. It's Acethan, so it's not very great for archers anyway. I say as we wind up at the top of the map, this is not the one I thought it was. Oh well. So you're into this Ganon guy again, seemingly on every route. Pretty simple one though. So I got a squishy leader, as per usual, that tends to eliminate a lot of problems right off the bat. Let's see. Golem blocked center. I'm assuming this is... he's squishy too. Well, pretty squishy, unless this guy on the left is a Juggernaut. Oh, no, he's a Terra Knight too, so they've only got one heavy unit anyway. Sounds like a lot of camping up here. And get some extra loot from taking out some of the other ones while they inevitably charge up the hill. And this is why all kinds of two-handed bows are really overpowered. I'll say though, there's one more thing I was really... wait, did I forget to change them back? Yeah, I did. Oh well. That's fine. That's just one less shot that they take. One thing that I was hoping for from this run, so far I haven't seen too much of it. I've yet to see something that matches the other two games in terms of, like, when you run into a dire situation, you may lose one or two people, but can still pull out a win. Seems like there's a pretty heavy likelihood of just pretty much outright losing. Either win or lose, and usually losing one or two people will be enough to kind of sway it in that direction. Kind of odd how that works. Also, wow, this guy hits like a truck. That's also probably because I completely unequipped that soldier right there, didn't I? Yep, Voltaire's going in naked. Kinda screwed that up. Oh well. Still a pretty easy fight. Kind of assuming those arrows will hit the guy in the front anyway, that's why I was aiming for him. As long as I can get a stun on this golem, he's usually slow enough to not be a problem once they're stunned. Can do all he really can and just block that spot. And this is just to show it off. They call it a throwing dagger, they just really throw a shuriken. As far as ninjas being overpowered, I assume it's because they were kinda meant as a flanking unit, and well, in this game, the only way that'll be too useful is if you go in like that, just kind of give them extra stats and whatnot. But they're still kind of squishy. They can't be terribly offensive, but they can still do some damage. Unfortunately, like many things, they went a little too far. And just like with the live system, the 3-point counter would have been, you know what, it would have been perfect. Frankly, I could overlook a lot of other problems that this game has if that thing just ended up offing characters after that 3-point counter. Which again is a weird thing to base judgment on a game off of. But coming off the first game, it tends to make a lot of the narrative make a lot more sense. A lot of the characters are constantly talking about, you know, how they're losing people left and right, and that's really one of the things that makes this game work. And that's why I've been hoping to find some way of playing the game that actually corrects that issue. And as of yet, I haven't exactly found that. Hopefully all the little jingly-janglies aren't coming through here. I have the puppy in timeout right now. And jumping around over there. You charm this ugly bastard. You know what? It occurs to me, I think she's actually hit every single one that's had any chance whatsoever to hit. Like, the only charm she's actually missed has been the 0%. So useful. And it's gonna get invisibly blocked by one of those diagonal roof tiles. Checkmate, sir. Yeah, it would also help if you weren't charging up a hill at us. And only actually bothered to have one tough unit in your group. Other than the aerosol fight, most of the chapters start off with a pretty easy fight right off the bat. And usually it's bounty hunters and things like that. Mana Principle. I'd go for that title. And it gives you explanations for each of these, by the way. And you get a few extra ones along the way, depending on people you rescue or don't rescue and things like that. First things first, you need to be an archer. I need you to get back to being overpowered as hell. Maybe keep some chain on you or something. Actually, no, I'm just gonna keep that armor. in case magic stuff happens. I guess he's usually pretty well immune to that anyway. Give him back his necklace so I can give somebody else this ring. Hit do again. And just basic defense. Yeah. That's why Edbert was carrying it. I'm curious if it'll... Can't really maximize healing is the weird part. I don't know why this is an option. Yeah, auto-equip doesn't exactly work for this game at all. It's just completely wrong. It never even bothers to equip any accessories. Kind of a funky thing in that regard. Like many things, of course. Not the option. Still not the option I meant. Stop. Same old stuff as before. Yeah, this is around where it starts getting really obvious that cudgels are a strange way to go. Like at this point, okay, you got two-handed maces. Now, for whatever reason, these are the only classes that can use them. Okay, warrior classes, I actually was curious at some point to maybe try a cudgel-only run. So, I don't know. That was one idea. You have Lancelot over in the bottom right, but you can't actually level him up at all. So yeah, both the two White Knight classes, they can use it. Okay, fine, well enough. They don't start with any skill in it, so you gotta sacrifice somebody to make that happen. Canopus can in his kind of unique class. Again, I'm not sure why. Like, the two-handed mace thing here, if it was one-handed, I could see it as being relatively useful, because maybe you keep him around with a one-handed bow or crossbow, and you're dealing with any kind of zombie or skeleton thing, which is what, for example, this one's really good against. I don't think it says it, frankly, anywhere, but something like 10 times extra damage against zombies. So, okay, in that case, I could see it happening. It gets extra movement, you know, makes extra stuff happen. It makes sense. Berserkers, they can use hammers and axes. There's no reason for them to be using frickin' sticks. Dragoons... I mean, I guess they could level it up quickly, sort of. Like, if they got to this level, theoretically, they could keep using their beast and dragon skills, which are, again, like, somewhere between 10 to 20 times extra damage on their relevant things. Like, I could see that working, because then suddenly they could get the skill up really high, and maybe you could get somewhere with that. And Terror Knights, I guess they're awful anyway, but usually they're with two-handers for a reason, just to make them kind of glass cannons that are good at scaring things. Yeah, accuracy matters more for Terror Knights, so that wouldn't really help much. And then Animal Tamers. I don't see the point. They can have whips. Whips are great. They're one of the two that can use... Well, actually, I guess technically 3 that can use whips. And for comparison, basic whip, available from the start of the game, 62. This mace, you gotta get, like, at least a third of the way through the game. Takes 2 hands. Actually, so does this, kind of think of it. But no, it's about as heavy. I guess the recovery time's slightly lower. Half as much damage. I don't think the upgraded version's anything special either. I remember looking through those, and really they were just extra magic power, really. But even then, I don't know why you'd go for that when you could go for one of these if the intelligence bonus is what you were looking for. So I was planning a cudgel run at some point. Maybe that'll be the one that causes a lot of weird shenanigans.